behind if we're going to achieve that acceleration, and if we are going to mobilize together to get to 2030, having kept the promise that we made to the world in 2015. The power of data will help to get us there, and in just a few weeks, frighteningly few weeks, in New York, we're going to hear from many 10, 15 other countries who are following Kenya's example, are inspired by some of the things that we're going to be hearing about today, and launching their own national partnerships for data. This is a movement that is only growing, but it's a movement that starts here today, and I'm incredibly grateful to all of you for being part of it, for helping us to achieve the changes that we know we can achieve, and to close that gap between perception and reality. I thank you very much, and now it gives me huge pleasure to welcome to the stage Principal Secretary Julius Korir for your opening remarks. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Hi. You never had tea or coffee? You sound a bit low. It gives me great pleasure to stand before you this morning as we discuss on the role of data in transformation, especially when we look at delivery. Maybe just a quick introduction of who I am. I serve as a Principal Secretary in the Presidency in charge of Cabinet Affairs. This is a department in government that oversees delivery of programs and projects across the government. And so maybe that's why I'm here, just to share with you what we are doing and how the idea of the Action Lab came and how it is helping us to transform a number of things within government. And maybe just as a way of introduction is that democracies has a system of changing its leadership. And when leaders come, they come on a promise. And they talk to the promises, they talk to the aspirations of the people, and give them hope that they are going to be able to deliver. But when they come into the bureaucracy of government, then you realize the promise you gave is not aligned with the structure of government. And now you start trying things haphazardly, by accident. Others you succeed, others you fail. And from analysis, it has been said that most manifestos, most governments deliver about 30 to 40%, and that is a very good performing government. So that is the phase or the state in which we find ourselves in the new administration. We went out, promised. Now the honest task is the delivery. And this is when we realize that to be able to deliver, we really have to leverage on technology. We really have to make sure that we do it. And then you realize that because of the inert nature of government, we are not as current as the private sector. And this is when we said, look, these guys, their bread and butter is technology, developing systems, processes, and making money out of it or earning a living out of it. How can government leverage on that knowledge? We have a knowledge of bureaucracy which is it's slow, but it works according to our speed. But the promise we gave, we have a 5-year window to prove to the citizens that we promised jobs, we can demonstrate the jobs, we can demonstrate the food security and all that, or food safety, cost of living. Those of us who are from Kenya, I think you hear that a lot, that this government, and citizens are very impatient. They give you a benefit of doubt of 1 year. If nothing happens within a year or two, then they write you off and start thinking of who next will come and give us a promise again. So this administration doesn't want to give the citizens that comfort. We want to deliver. And I think we were discussing and saying that this administration has given us a political environment that will be able to drive digital transformation. One, those of you recall, we said we are going to digitize all government services. I'm glad to say that we were targeting 4,000. Now we are at about 6,400 services digitized. We've also said, the president said then, that we are going to have all payment go through one window. As of 15th of August, we achieved that. All payments in every department of government is going through one platform. Then we discovered something, that we were assuming everybody uses M-Pesa. So we gave 222. Then we realized there are people who use cards. So now we are developing PDQs that will be available for citizens and PayPal system to be able to do that. And thanks to digitization. So the next phase is, as we have now managed to concentrate all services that are payable through a window of e-citizen, then the next thing is the same citizen wants to see, you told us you will create jobs. Where are we? And this is where now, through the Action Lab, where it is not yet formal, we just put ourselves, a good number of us, people from the private sector and also government, and we have started that process of coming up with a government delivery management system that now can integrate the entire government, so that a program going on in a ministry, in a department, we can be able to have a line of sight at the presidency. And that is where we are heading. We are at the process of proof of concept, and we believe in another 2-3 weeks or so, we should now be piloting in a few ministries. We are in the space of climate action. We gave a promise that in the 10 years that the administration will be in office, we will have planted 15 billion trees. This system that we are developing is also going to help us track that. And we are not only planting, we also want to see how the tree will be nurtured, cared for, until we are able to use the same technology again to see how the transformation over a period of time will have happened. So that if we say, I adopted 10,000 or 1,000 acres, we want in 2 years, when you use the satellite and technology, you're able to see that place has changed and the cover is better. With the same also, with the calculation of carbon credit, at the moment, it is those of us who grew up country, when you are hunting, you first of all want to see where the wind is so that you don't stand and the animal smells you. So you do like this, then you put your finger on the air to see if the wind is blowing. So we want technology to help us be able now to calculate accurately what carbon credit is due for a certain area or region. So as government, we are very committed to the Action Lab. Very soon, I've already identified space where it'll be a workspace for any private sector who wants to participate in helping government develop technologies that can improve service delivery. As I've told you, the citizen of today is not the citizen of 1963, where we just had to bring somebody with a kofia, those caps, hats, which are like a cooking pot. And then they whip everybody to size, to shape. Nowadays, you say this, then the citizen tell you, no, my right is. And so we want to make sure that they don't become agitated. The expectations of the same citizen is very high. They are very impatient. And so government has to up its game so that it is able to deliver. So we are very glad to be partnering with the United AI Alliance. I think when I was thrown into the deep end in this office, I was like, okay, trying to see where to get data to be able to now see how we were doing as government, and it has been impossible. Then we just said, I need a system. And when we discussed, they said, no, it's possible. And I was shown a few governments have adopted it, UK, I think South Africa, and a few others. And it's amazing what you can achieve with the data. So the space that we are developing with the support of our private sector partners is going to be a space that is going to help in designing system processes and automation systems that will assist in policy implementation and program implementation. So on behalf of the government, I think I just want to say that we are committed, we are dedicated, and we want to see this happening. So hopefully by December, the government delivery management system will be happening. I think there's something I forgot to say, and what has really driven us to go this journey is that when we put all payment under one system, we've seen an increase in revenue collection by around 20-25%. So technology works, and so we are committed. Thank you so much. I wish you all a great discussion as we continue. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. And it's great to have that data at the end of the presentation. The 20%, you can't really argue with a 20% increase in government revenue to spend on the services that people need, and as you say now, so rightly expect. It gives me huge pleasure. Thank you so much, Principal Secretary. That was a really fantastic, inspiring set of remarks, and I think really shows what we're doing here. We're talking at two levels. We're inspiring. We want to show people a picture of the world ahead and the way that technology can help us to create it, but also show people specifically and tangibly and materially how that can help them in their lives, in the decisions that they make, in the operations of government, and really help us to understand in very practical ways how it can make lives better. I think Davis is trying to tell me something. Shall I say that now? Yes, I believe your work here is not done. We want to bring you back onto the stage to offer you a small token of our appreciation of you for coming here today. That if you can just join me back on the stage. Now somebody will miraculously appear and please.
Thank you so much for gracing our Climate Action Zone. We brought one of our heroes, quality education. You can't have it without data. And this is a chieftaincy stool, a stool of leadership. And so we want to offer this to you to thank you so much, and to thank you, Claire, for bringing this event here. Thank you so much.
He's not going to sit on it. At least not here. Maybe in the comfort of his home. Thank you so much for your leadership.
Thank you very much, and I'm very glad that we managed also to entice one of the superheroes up to the stage. It's been great seeing them moving around the hall today, along with all of the school children and so many others that are here today, making this Climate Action Zone really feel like the place to be this week. So now we've heard a lot about the opportunities of data and technology. We've heard about the partnership. I'm very delighted now to welcome up on stage someone who's really rolled up his sleeves and made it happen. Please, Jeffrey Levine, the Director of Worldwide AI Initiatives at NVIDIA. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Claire. And it's really a pleasure to be here. This is very, very exciting. I just will take a couple of minutes. One thing, we have a really nice room full of people here that are in for a treat. We are doing something amazing, I think, in Kenya. I see Kenya, frankly, as a leader of East Africa, and frankly, we're carving a road that I think not only all of Africa can follow, but frankly, that will lead around the world through Latin America, as well as Southeast Asia. And what that would be is bridging the compute divide. Right now, we're in a transitional phase in existence. I'm not sure, does everyone here know who NVIDIA is? I don't want to assume that people know the company NVIDIA. Just maybe a raise of hands. Okay, this is good. So we got maybe 30, 40% of the room knows who NVIDIA is. So, in short, everyone here is familiar about AI, right? Everyone knows AI. So some things about NVIDIA is, we own the market. Not intentionally, we're not a monopoly. It's this company that was founded by a genius named Jensen Huang. We started as a gaming company. And what happened over time, that was 35 years ago, that parallel processing of compute opens up a new age of compute. Accelerated compute is what we call it. And accelerated compute allows you to do things with the graphics that we're never able to do before. But not only that, allows you to do things around AI that we weren't able to do before. And it was really when the invention of, everyone has one of these in their pockets, right? So 2007, the data deluge came. And so now you have a ton of data. And the two together, compute power with a ton of data, allows you to build models with data science to predict things. And if you look at your phone, this is really data science, right? You have facial recognition, it opens up your phone. Right? I could speak to my phone, NLP. Maybe people have heard of generative AI, right? These large language models, ChatGPT. So that's NVIDIA is under the hood. So if you think about it, if it's Microsoft, Amazon, every large company in the world, most large governments, it's NVIDIA's product that is in the data center as a hardware stack, but we also have a platform of SDKs and APIs, a software layer on top of it. And the reason why we're about 95% of the market is because we just do things that are really hard. It has to be something that maybe takes 10 years to do. And the reason why we do things that take 10 years is because we decide we're going to do the things that take 10 years to do. We're going to do the really hard work. We're a research company. And if something's easy, we don't want to look at it. We'll let the competition do it easy. We're not looking to disrupt the market. We're looking to make the market. So what's happening now is if you go to the West, there's billions and billions of dollars of our product being put into the data centers, and data centers are rapidly transforming. But that's not happening everywhere in the world. And my mission here, representing NVIDIA on my team and working with Claire and working with GPSDD over the years, is to bridge that divide and bring data science compute capabilities to Kenya and to Africa. And that's what we're doing. We actually just had a shipment that cleared customs. One of our partners, Amini, with the CEO, Kate Cowett, who's local here based in Nairobi, just received about 20 of these data science workstations. These are supercomputers. One of these computers is more powerful than a whole data center 10 years ago. And what this is going to allow is the government, with this lab,